Hey guys, this is the channel where we talk about toys, books, gadgets, wristwatches, and all the things that men like to collect. Today we're going to talk about the Marathon GSAR Automatic Diver's Watch in Anthracite Black. Welcome to Timberwolf's Den. Okay guys, before we talk about the Marathon, we first have to do a wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Steinhardt Ocean 1 Titanium GMT. Now I promised myself I wouldn't buy any more watches, but I bought it in a moment of weakness today. I mean, what can I say? And anyway, we're not here to talk about this particular watch today. I'm sure we'll come back to it at a future time. But in the meantime, let's go quickly to the unboxing video for my new Marathon GSAR Automatic Diver's Watch. Oh yes, I've been looking forward to this for some time. I believe I am ready to make the first incision. And there it is, after months of looking at it longingly on YouTube. It's finally arrived. The Marathon GSAR Military Diver's Watch. Automatic. Look at that baby. And yes, see that? It's not unusual for an automatic watch to stop in transit, but just by picking it up, you can see that second hand is already running. The clock is running, people. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I am gonna put this bad boy on, and then I'm gonna report back in about 24 hours or so, just to let you know my experience with the watch after a day. Yeah, so the first thing I should say is that you should be very, very careful when you're playing with knives. The more eagle-eyed of you might have noticed that I actually cut myself when I was doing that video, and that explains why I don't have any bandage in one part of the scene, and then in the second part of the scene, all of a sudden I'm wearing a bandage. Yeah, so I actually cut myself while doing that video. So guys, be very careful when you're unboxing your own watches. Now, before we get into the watch itself, let's talk a little bit about the Marathon Company. Now, most of you probably don't realize that the Marathon Company is actually a Swiss company. So that means that all of their watches actually bear the mark Swiss made. Now, the Marathon Company was first founded in 1904 as Weinsturm Watch. And then later it was known as the Vine Brothers. In 1939, Maurice Vine founded Marathon Watch in Montreal, Canada. And that's pretty much the incarnation of the Marathon Watch Company as we know it today. In 1941, Marathon began manufacturing timing instruments for the Allied forces. And pretty much until today, Marathon is a company that builds and designs watches to government specifications for use by military personnel. And they're probably best known for their field watches and, of course, their dive watches, one of which we will take a very close look at today. All right, guys, let's take a good close look at this watch. So first of all, we have a case diameter of 41.5 millimeters. You have a height of 14 millimeters. It's a pretty tall watch, and that's because it has to accommodate the tritium tubes that are placed on both the hands and the dial. More on that later on. The lug-to-lug measurement is 48 millimeters, which is a good size for my 6.5 inch wrist. And you have a lug width of 20 millimeters. The movement is a Swiss ETA 2824-2 automatic movement, which is of course self-winding. The case is anthracite coated stainless steel. That's what gives it this beautiful matte black finish all throughout. The back is screw-in engraved and contains all of the military specs. So you can see here, you can read all of the different military specifications that this watch had to satisfy, including everything to do with diving, etc., etc. Now flipping the watch over, the crystal is anti-reflective sapphire. The band is vulcanized black rubber. And you can tell that it's high quality rubber because you don't see any lint sticking to it. That's usually a telltale sign of a rubber strap that is of poor quality. And another added bonus for these particular watches is that they actually smell like vanilla. Yeah, the rubber band actually smells like vanilla. All right, so this is, of course, a diver's watch, and GSAR, of course, means Government Search and Rescue. That means this watch is used by professional divers in rescue operations. It is water resistant to 300 meters. Now, I'll show you one of the main features of this watch that really makes it stand out amongst most dive watches. This watch has tritium tube hands and markers. So they're little tritium gas tubes that are placed on the hands and markers of this watch. Now, tritium is actually a radioactive material, and you can see from the back that it radiates what's rated as 28 millicuries of radiation. That's a very, very small radiation, of course. So, you know, I assure you this watch is not going to create any problems for you. It's not going to, you know, mutate your hand to grow an extra finger or anything like that. It's very, very safe levels of radiation here. But the advantage of having these tritium tube hands and markers is that tritium is constantly glowing, right? So that means the watch is always glowing no matter what the condition. So that means it doesn't even have to be recharged by light. Again, unlike your superluminovas or lumibrights, etc., where you have to recharge the glow by sticking it under a bright light or a UV light. The tritium tubes in this watch will always glow. And that's very, very important, especially for military divers who sometimes have to spend a lot of time in very, very dark conditions, sometimes hours and hours on end. So, you know, this is a super, super tough watch. Again, it's made to all kinds of military specifications. It is the watch actually issued to members of the U.S. Armed Forces, Canadian Armed Forces, and I think a couple of armed forces in Europe. And the one thing I'm wondering is whether or not could this be the toughest watch you can get under $1,500 US. I purchased this watch for $1,380 US from Long Island Watch Company, and that, in my opinion, is an extremely good deal for a watch this tough and this solid. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't done it already, and remember to hit that bell icon so that you will be reminded of any future videos from this channel. I will see you in the next video. Until then, Timberwolf out.